Your life is Zelenskyy. Level 1. The kid from Kryvyi Rih. You are born in Kryvyi Rih, an industrial city of steel, mines, dust, and hard people. This is not a city that teaches you softness. The streets are wide. The buildings are gray. The winters feel endless. Men come home tired from factories. Mothers carry bags through snow. And children learn early that nobody is coming to make life easy. You are not born into a palace. You are not born into power. You are just a small boy with quick eyes, fast words, and a sense that the room changes when people laugh. At first, laughter is just a trick. You make your classmates laugh. You make adults smile when they are too tired to smile. You learn timing. You learn silence. You learn that one pause can be stronger than 10 words. You do not know it yet, but this is your first weapon. Not money, not soldiers, not politics. A voice. Level 2. The student who does not become a lawyer. You grow up. You study law. On paper, this is your safe road. A serious job. A respectable title. A life with documents, offices, signatures, and rules. But something inside you refuses to sit still. You can study the law, but your mind is already writing scenes. You can read textbooks, but you are thinking about characters. You can imagine a normal future, but every time you step on stage, normal life feels smaller. So you make a dangerous decision. You choose performance. At first, it looks childish. People think comedy is not serious. They think actors are just entertainers. They think laughter is something light. But you understand something they do not. Comedy is not light. Comedy is pressure. Comedy is truth with a smile on it. Comedy is saying what people think but are afraid to say. You are not just learning how to make people laugh. You are learning how to speak to a nation. Level 3. The performer. Now you are on stage. The lights hit your face. The audience waits. If you fail, they will not politely pretend. They will sit in silence. They will look away. They will make you feel every second of your mistake. So you learn discipline. You rehearse until your voice is tired. You rewrite jokes again and again. You watch the audience like a general watches a battlefield. A laugh comes from the left side of the room. A pause works better than a punchline. A joke about ordinary life hits harder than a joke about fantasy. You are becoming famous, but not powerful. Not yet. Fame gives you attention. Power gives you responsibility. You do not understand the difference yet. Level 4. Kvartal 95. You build something bigger than yourself. A comedy team. A production company. A machine. Kvartal 95 is not just a stage anymore. It becomes television, scripts, actors, tours, shows, business meetings, pressure, contracts, deadlines. Now you are not only the funny guy. You are a leader. You manage people. You solve problems. You protect the brand. You make decisions when everyone is tired and nobody wants to decide. This is your first presidency, but nobody calls it that. You are president of chaos. Actors panic. Producers argue. Money runs late. Television schedules change. The audience wants more. And every time something breaks, people look at you. You learn what leadership really means. It means being calm when everyone else is losing control. Level 5. The famous man. Now people know your face. You are on television. You are in films. You are successful. Restaurants recognize you. Cameras follow you. Crowds smile when they see you. You have the life many people dream about. Money, popularity, a beautiful family, a career that actually works. But fame is a strange prison. Everyone knows your smile, but very few people know your fear. Everyone thinks you are lucky, but nobody sees the nights when you are exhausted. And Ukraine around you is changing. People are tired. Tired of corruption, tired of promises, tired of politicians who speak like kings and live like kings. You are still a comedian, but the jokes are getting darker. Level 6, the fictional president. Then comes the role that changes everything. You play a normal teacher who accidentally becomes president after speaking honestly about corruption. It is supposed to be fiction, a funny idea, a fantasy. A normal man enters politics and refuses to become part of the machine. People watch it because it is funny, but they stay because it feels possible. They look at your character and think, why not? Why can't a normal person speak simply? Why can't a president be human? Why can't someone walk into the system and not be swallowed by it? The television show becomes more than entertainment. It becomes a rehearsal for history, and slowly the line between actor and candidate begins to disappear. Level 7. The candidate. Now you do the thing everyone says is impossible. You run for president. At first they laugh. Not with you. At you. They say you are a clown. They say you are not serious. They say politics is not television. They say the old system will crush you. And maybe they are right. You have no traditional political machine, no long career in parliament, no old speeches, no gray suit history. But you have something dangerous. People are listening. You speak directly to cameras. You speak like a person, not like a document. You use the internet better than the old politicians use television. You are not promising to be perfect. You are promising to be different. And in a country tired of the same faces, different becomes powerful. Level 8. The landslide election night. The numbers come in. This is no longer a joke. This is no longer a television series. You win, not by a little, by a landslide. A comedian, actor, producer, and outsider is now the president of Ukraine. The room celebrates, but inside you, something heavy begins. Because winning is the easy part. Now every promise has a price. Now every word is recorded. Now every mistake belongs to the whole country. You wanted to change politics. Now politics will try to change you. Level 9. The novice president. You enter the office. The walls are too formal. The rooms are too quiet. The suits around you speak in careful sentences. Everyone wants something. Some want jobs. Some want access. Some want revenge. Some want protection. Some smile at you while measuring how inexperienced you are. This is the second test. The first test was winning people's attention. The second test is surviving people's expectations. You want peace. You want reform. You want to clean the system. You want Ukraine to move forward. But a country is not a stage. You cannot rewrite the script overnight. Every decision creates enemies. Every compromise disappoints someone. Every delay becomes betrayal in the eyes of those who believe too much, too quickly. You are learning the hardest lesson of leadership. Hope wins elections. Reality runs governments. Level 10. The night before everything changes. Then the clouds gather. Troops build near the border. Foreign leaders warn of invasion. Intelligence reports come in. The world starts speaking about your country like it is already a battlefield. You tell people not to panic, but you can feel history moving under your feet. There are meetings, calls, maps, warnings, plans. You sleep less. Your family feels farther away, even when they are near. Every leader imagines a crisis. Very few imagine waking up inside one. Then February 24th arrives. Missiles hit. Explosions begin. The full-scale invasion has started. The old life ends before sunrise. Level 11, the choice to stay. This is the moment. Every story about you will return to this point. You can leave. You can be evacuated. You can rule from somewhere safer. You can survive first and explain later. But if you leave, what happens to the country's heart? So you stay. You walk into the street with your team. You record a message, not from a bunker in another country, not from a distant capital, from Kyiv. You show your face. You say you are there. The message is simple, but the meaning is enormous. The president did not run. And because you stay, millions of people feel that they can stay strong too. This is the level where fame dies and responsibility takes its place. Level 12, the wartime voice. Now your life becomes speeches, morning speeches, night speeches, emergency calls, video addresses to parliaments around the world. You speak to Ukrainians in pain. You speak to soldiers at the front. You speak to mothers hiding underground. You speak to leaders who promise support, then hesitate. You ask for weapons. You ask for sanctions. You ask for air defense. You ask for the world not to look away. Your clothes change. The suit disappears. The green military-style shirt becomes your uniform. You no longer dress like a president in peacetime. You dress like a man whose country is on fire. And every time you speak, you are not only giving information, you are keeping morale alive. Level 13, the symbol. Now the world knows your face. Magazine covers, parliament screens, global summits, standing ovations. But being a symbol is not the same as being free. A symbol cannot have a bad day. A symbol cannot look too tired. A symbol cannot say, I am scared. You carry the grief of cities you have never personally visited. You carry the names of children you never met. You carry the anger of soldiers, the fear of refugees, the impatience of allies, the criticism of enemies, and the exhaustion of your own people. Every smile costs energy. Every speech costs something. Every decision has blood behind it. You are praised by some, hated by others, doubted by many, watched by all. This is not celebrity anymore. This is history sitting on your chest. Level 14, the long war. At first, everyone thinks in days, then weeks, then months, then years. The world's attention moves in waves. Some days Ukraine is the headline. Some days the world is distracted by something else. But the war does not stop when people stop watching. The sirens still sound. The funerals still happen. The front line still moves. You travel from capital to capital, asking for help from people who are not being bombed. You shake hands with leaders who speak warmly in public and calculate coldly in private. You learn that diplomacy is also a battlefield. No explosions, no trenches. Just rooms, flags, translators, conditions, delays, and promises that may or may not arrive in time. You are fighting for weapons, for money, for attention, for patience, for your country's place in the future. Level 15, the man behind the president. Somewhere behind the cameras, you are still a husband, still a father, still the boy from Kryvyi Rih who once made people laugh. But that version of you is harder to reach now. Your children are growing while history pulls you away. Your wife carries her own burden. Your private life becomes part of the war without asking permission. People discuss your face, your tone, your decisions, your mistakes, your clothes, your fatigue. They forget there is a human being under the symbol. And maybe sometimes you forget too, because there is no pause button, no normal weekend, no quiet morning where the country does not need you. Final level, no way back. This is the final truth. You cannot return to being only an actor. You cannot return to being only a comedian. You cannot return to the old stage where the worst thing that could happen was silence from the audience. Now the audience is history, and history does not laugh politely. You wanted to play a president, then you became one. You wanted to change your country, then your country was forced to fight for survival. You wanted to be heard. Now the world hears every word, but the higher you rise, the less your life belongs to you. This is your life as Zelenskyy, not just fame, not just politics, not just war. A man who started with comedy, walked into power, and then found himself standing in the center of one of the most important battles of the century. And every morning, the cameras turn on again. The country waits, the world watches, and you have to speak.